Meeting minutes. This is often something that business owners avoid. They don't do it, they put it off, but it is so simple. It'll only take you 5 minutes, and here's why it's so important. Once I saw a business get sued, and the owner of the business also got sued for what happened in the business. Now, the owner had nothing to do with the conduct that occurred in the business. The claim was a breach of contract. So why would the owner be responsible for what happened in the company? This was an LLC. That means LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. In other words, the owner's liability is limited. The owner shouldn't be liable. This was a very aggressive party in a lawsuit, and that party conducted discovery in the litigation to try to find out if the LLC had regular meeting minutes of the LLC members and minutes of the Board of Governors. Now, this was an LLC owned by one person. Do you really have to have a meeting with one person? So we're talking about an LLC who is owned by one person, controlled and run by one person, and yet the person suing the LLC, the corp and the owner, was claiming that because the owner failed to have LLC member meeting minutes and LLC Board of Governor minutes, that the owner failed to treat the LLC as a separate business entity from the owner's own financial reserves. And the claim was that simply because those meeting minutes were missing, the person who initiated the lawsuit should be able to pierce the LLC veil or pierce the corporate veil and hold the owner personally liable. Now, courts have said in order for a person to have limited liability and not be liable as a business owner for the conduct of their corporation or the LLC, the person needs to have standard formalities followed in the business. And one of those formalities is meeting minutes. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not aware of any lawsuit where a court held that simply because meeting minutes were missing, the owner should be personally liable. The cases usually list the lack of meeting minutes and other ways the owner failed to keep the corporation separate from the owner's personal assets. But regardless, having meeting minutes is so easy. So here's what I recommend you do. Either use ChatGPT or some other AI, or you can simply just open up a Microsoft Word document or Google Doc and write out the following. First, what's the name of the meeting? As an owner of a corporation, you'll say shareholder meeting minutes. Or as the board for a corporation, you'll say board of directors meeting minutes. So you'll have the company name, and then you'll have the name of the meeting. If it's an LLC, you'll say LLC members meeting minutes. So that's members are the owners. Or you'll have LLC Board of Governors meeting minutes. The Board of Governors is the board that oversees all of the operations of the company. So after you have the company name and the name of the meeting, then you have the date, the names of who attended, so it might just be one business owner, the items that were discussed or reviewed at the meeting, so it might say reviewed financials, reviewed operations of the business. It can be very short. And then any decisions that are made. Finally, you can put that the meeting adjourned. If you want, you can put the time of day. Usually these meeting minutes should be then signed by the president or the secretary of the company. And usually in a small business, that's the owner. But you put your name and then the title of secretary next to it, because technically you're not signing as an owner, you're signing as the secretary of the company. As an owner, you may serve in many different roles. So, what's the takeaway here? A very simple way to help ensure that you don't have personal liability for debts and liabilities of your company is to have meeting minutes. And it takes AI 5 minutes to quickly put these together for you. Or you can just quickly type them up. And if you want, you can hop on the internet and take a look at some samples there. But they don't need to be long. You just have to have those key elements.